What is up, everyone? Welcome back to a very special off-season segment that we've been doing, Babes and Buffs. It is so much fun. You are in for a major treat. These are some great seasons that we've got to talk about. In case you are new to Babes and Buffs, what we are doing is we're going through all of the Survivor seasons in sets of 10, and we're talking about the most iconic women that made their mark on the game of Survivor, women that maybe we thought should have come back, women that were most robbed, challenge beasts, all the things. And it has been so much fun. There are some amazing women that have played Survivor. The ultimate goal is for the hosts and our guests to come up with a dream tribe of all women that we think either, again, should return or that have already returned that we think we want to see back for a multitude of reasons. And I'm just excited to get into it. I am joined today by my co-host, Ollie. Ollie, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to talk about this era. This is undoubtedly my favorite era with two of my favorite seasons within it. So I'm very excited.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think actually a lot of my favorite seasons are within this era. This might be my favorite era. And I'm excited to talk about it with other super fans and a former player. We have got Leslie from season 15 of Survivor. Leslie, how are you doing?
I'm doing so good. Oh my gosh, I look like such a badass in that picture. I forgot about that picture.
You don't just look
yeah, that was right before the first challenge. And my whole tribe, we put like dirt under our eyes so that we would look intimidating. And we did. It worked.
I mean, I'd be intimidated.
If I look scary in that picture. But yeah,
I mean, it was way.
Yeah, totally.
Well, we are so excited to talk to you about not only a season that you played, but some of maybe your favorite seasons that you've watched. And before we get into it, though, I just wanted to check in with you. Leslie, what have you been up to since your Survivor days?
Wow. Okay. So it was 18 years ago. There's probably people listening who aren't even 18 yet. So I was on Survivor before some of them were even born. But I will tell you, it's been a very tumultuous and an interesting journey. And, I don't know if you remember me from Survivor China. If you do, you might remember that I was called Sister Christian because I was a Christian radio host and I was terrified of making God look bad the whole time. It looked like the way they edited me, it made it look like I was a complete idiot out there just trying to be a missionary. And sadly, they didn't show my gameplay, and that's a bummer because I actually did play, and Todd and I will talk about that. We have a podcast coming out soon. We'll be talking about all the stuff that wasn't shown, but I will say since then I have deconstructed. I don't know if you know what that means. I have changed a lot of my traditional faith beliefs, and a lot of it started when I was on China or Survivor China. So yeah, it's been a lot. It's been really hard. It's been one of the most difficult things I've ever done, but I'm also like the happiest I've ever been in my life. I'm not afraid anymore. And now I help other people do that too. So that's what I'm doing.
Oh, that is so cool. And such an interesting, inspiring story. And we'd love to hear more about it once we kind of get into the episode, where we always love to hear, our guests like tidbits and, more of what they gained from the experience. That is so cool to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know that you're obviously still in contact with Todd because you're starting this amazing podcast, which we're so excited to listen to. And are there any other people that you've kept in contact with from either your Survivor season or just from the Survivor universe?
Oh yeah. I mean, at my core, I am a connector. And so one of the first things I did once I got off MySpace and then got on Facebook, because that was the cool thing then, I created like a group on Facebook. It's like a private page for people who've been on the show. And it's just for people who've been on the show. No fans. We love fans. But sometimes the fans can be kind of, opinionated, and we just need a safe space to gather and go, you know what, this just happened to me. Oh my God, that happened to me too. It's nice. And so like, if we go to different areas of the country, we're like, hey, I'm coming to San Francisco. Does anybody live there? And then we have these random Survivor meetups. And it's so weird because I feel like the people who've been on Survivor, you don't have to have been on the same season. We all have this incredible connection. Like it goes deeper than you could imagine. And it's kind of weird, like I feel very close to these people, whether I've even met them. But I have kept in touch very much with Courtney. We've been close since the beginning. Of course, they didn't show a whole lot of that either. But yeah, Courtney and I are very close and very close to Sharia because she and I traveled around together after getting voted out in China, sick as dogs, but we were there for each other. And then, I definitely Todd, obviously, and Frosty, PG. Oh, there's so many from my season. We got really, really close because I think, when you go through, I call it collective trauma. When you go through collective trauma, there's like this trauma bond that is like deeper than like what a normal friendship would be. I mean, you've seen each other's, butt, you've like, thrown up in front of each, like, it's so crazy. All the walls just come down. It's truly a life-changing experience.
That is so cool. And even as a fan, that's one of my favorite things to see is like Survivor players coming together. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that these people knew each other or like are having this event or just different things like that. And it's really cool that you kind of did that. Like you created maybe one of the original Facebook groups for all this.
Yeah, I mean, we need to get more people in there. But not that many people use Facebook anymore. So I'm like, maybe we need to be on Discourse or something. I don't know, but I'm just excited, to be able to connect with everyone. I told my husband the night before I left, I was like, our family is about to grow because wherever I go, I make friends and they become family. And
Absolutely.
I had no idea it would be bigger than my tribe. It was the entire season. And then also all the other seasons. I just love these people. They're amazing.
That's amazing. That is so sweet. And again, it's one of my favorite things. Like, I just love how close it seems like everybody gets. And that just seems like one of the most special things about Survivor.
It is, in my opinion, for what it's worth.
Oh, absolutely. It sounds like it. Well, I just had one more question because you said you played 18 years ago. And, it's first of all, it's amazing that you kept in contact with all these people for such a long time. But on a separate note, old school Survivor, like when you played Survivor China, it was arguably a completely different game back then. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you can really like name one specific thing. And there are some obvious things, of course, that are like different between old school Survivor as far back as Survivor China, or even like we can go further back than that, obviously. There are some obvious differences between that and new era Survivor.
Yeah.
What would you say is like one of the biggest differences between old school Survivor, like the Survivor that you played, and like the Survivor that you see now?
Well, the Survivor I played was so different than even the Survivors up to that point. You know what I mean? It was very cultural. There was, we were in the middle of nowhere in a jungle. There was no beach. There was no, no food. I mean, it was disgusting. It smelled like manure everywhere we went. Like, it was literally a mud pit in the middle, literally middle of China. And I think I really miss that where they would travel into these different cultures and have the, when they would go on these reward challenges and be with the people from that area, and you would get to know the culture and the lifestyle and all of that. I really, really miss that about it. And, I miss the 39 days. I feel like, I mean, I only lasted 9 days, so who am I to say? But like, honestly, even Courtney has told me several times, she's like, I wish you would have lasted longer because it's like horrible up until about day 9, which was the day I was voted out. She said, I woke up the next day and I was like, I think I can do this, and I'm like, dang it. Cause like I was miserable the whole time I was out there, but there is something that happens to you when you've been deprived of your normalcy for so long. And I think we're kind of shortchanging the new players. And I'm a little burned out, and this is me personally. I love Survivor, it's my favorite, but like I'm having a very hard time because I feel like it's always the same location. It's always the same kind of people. It's, there's a lot of backstories where we didn't used to do that. And I'm glad they're doing it, but I'm also kind of like, we always knew the stories of us because we told them. We didn't have to have videos of, what we did before. We just shared it in the tribe. And so people knew who we were without the sob story, if you will. So that's kind of, it's hard for me. I don't know. I'm struggling with that, but that's just me personally. I'm sure it's going over great. People love it. So
That is an interesting point that you bring up, because looking back at all of the seasons that I love from way back versus seasons now, it's not that I'm not connected with the characters in new era seasons, but it's almost like I connected more with the previous players, and their stories weren't shown as heavily as they are now, like you said. So it's just interesting how that kind of works out. But it's just different. And one of the reasons I wanted to bring that up is because, we're talking about specific players in these episodes, and like what made an iconic player back then is kind of different than what makes an iconic player now. You know what I mean?
So true. So true.
I just wanted people to kind of like get thinking about that. But with that being said, thank you, first of all, for all your insight and stories and everything. We're excited to hear more, but I'm ready to get into it. How about you all?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we are starting off this episode by talking about season 11, okay? And Leslie, let's go to you first. What stands out about this season, specifically which women are you able to pull out of this season and be like, they made their mark?
Well, what's interesting about seasons 11 through 14 were they were Sister Christian. They were pre-Leslie being on Survivor, but they were when I was auditioning. I auditioned 11 times. So for 5.5 years before I was picked, I was sending in a video every 6 months and, trying to get on the show. And every time I would watch the show, I would try to insert myself, like, who would I play like? And who would I want to play like? And who do I wish I could play like? And, who's doing something that I'm like, what the heck are they doing? Or even because I was so religious at the time, or so, I don't know. I would say I wasn't religious at the time, but in retrospect, I totally was. But I think there were some decisions that were made in Guatemala with the idols and the thing, that I was like, oh my God, what would I do if I was Danny? Because she's a Christian and she's got to deal with it, So I was really trying to for one thing, the two that really stick out that didn't, go all the way to the end, but that to be honest, as you get older, you don't remember details as much. So I'm 56 now. So I'm like, I don't remember the details, but I remember how people make me feel. And like that never goes away. And so when I went through and I was looking at the girls from Guatemala, Brooke really stuck out to me. Brooke Struck. I love her as a person. I've met her. And so as soon as I saw her name, I felt at home. I was like, oh, she would have been somebody I would have absolutely wanted on my tribe. She was strong. She was kind. She was good. And she's still that way. It's obvious that Stephanie LaGrossa is a badass. Like nobody can deny that. Every woman that I have talked to who has been on the show has said, I wish I could play like that. Like we all love her. So mad respect for her. And then, of course, Danny, she was a Christian as well. And she really struggled with, do I eat this food that was sacrificed, to an idol? Do I do, all that. So I really related to her. And then I saw Amy's picture and I don't remember really how she played, but I remember she was strong. And I remember thinking, I want to be remembered as strong. I wasn't, but I would have liked to have been. but I also didn't know I was going to have a parasite, the whole time. So there's that. Anyway, I don't know. As I was looking through, like, I didn't remember Brianna at all. Like, I don't even remember seeing her on the show, but it's no offense to her. It's just my old age brain. So that's kind of where I'm at. What do you think?
I love those choices. I mean, and it's always fun, to bring up, obviously we love deep cuts, but like you can't like get through certain seasons without acknowledging certain big players. So obviously like we can't go past, I always go by season numbers. That's why I'm going season 11. We can't go past 11 without talking about Danny, of course, like took home the W that season. And then Stephanie, like one of the only returnee season at that point so far had been All-Stars. So this was also like an iconic moment for her and Bobby John to even return at all. So I mean, you can't obviously go through this without mentioning her name and how amazing she is. She's, I always say, one of my favorite players.
We're not worthy. She's amazing.
We are not worthy.
Yeah.
100%. But Ollie, who have you got?
Well, I also had Amy, kind of similar to reasons as you, Leslie. Like she was a really strong woman. Obviously, she had her injury, which kind of then caused her demise. But then the two women that really stuck out for me One was Cindy Hall. I thought she was a really strong player. She was a bit quiet. But I think that's also because, and this is where my deep cut kind of comes in. Obviously, she has I don't know if it's actual like younger sister or twin sister, Mindy, who we did see on the show. And she's also been on reality TV. So it's kind of like the Hall sisters are there doing their thing on reality TV. And then my other one is the queen, the icon, Lydia. How can we not think of Guatemala and not think of Lydia?
Yeah. She was great.
What a beautiful person.
Yeah.
She seemed like a lot of fun. And I just love seeing her goofy moments on that season too.
Yeah.
So yes, love those choices as well. I always go last, or normally I'll go last for my picks. And all of my names have already been said. I did pull Amy. What a fighter. I mean, she clearly, she was willing to fight through injury, fight through this pain, really, really wanted to play. So, and I just remember thinking she was just so tough. I'm like, I hope I'm tough as nails like that when I'm, older, whatever. So Amy came up, Cindy came up, and then of course our two probably most memorable players of the season, Danny and Stephanie, for reasons that have already been said. But those are the four names that I was able to pull from this season.
Yeah, it's a good season.
Kind of underrated. I don't think, it doesn't get talked about enough as the fact that it had again, one of the first times we saw returning players, and it was the first time we saw an idol.
Yeah.
Obviously they had some kinks to work out with the idol, but it was the first time we ever saw one. It was really interesting. And that hike to get to their actual camp, where they were going to stay.
The first challenge.
Brutal. Yeah. People were not well. They were not well. So that was interesting too. But yeah, good season, good women. I'm glad those names got brought up. But we then get to season 12, Panama, Exile Island, which we actually just did a rewatch episode on. So go watch that if you are interested and want to hear more about our thoughts about the season as a whole, not just the women. But let's go to Ollie first. Ollie, who have you got from this season?
I've kind of got the two icons. I'm not gonna lie. The two women that stood out are kind of the two that we had seen then return, which was, of course, obviously, I'm gonna go for Danielle first. One of the more underrated queens, and then Sari. You can't talk about Panama without talking about Sari. First season, got off the couch, had so many amazing moments. Got to throw it to Queen Sari.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, we talked about that on our episode, Ollie knows, but I mean, we were just talking about how fun it was to see her first time playing and see her come out as just a new type of player that we had never seen before, and how strategic she was, and just how motherly. I would, even if I wanted to get her out, she would probably pull out her charm, and I wouldn't be able to. If there's some sort of magic that she has over people, that is just outstanding, and nobody else has it. So,
and it got her a win on Traders. So
absolutely, it did. Oh,
good for her.
Love season 1.
Yeah.
So cool.
Love to talk about that too. But let's stay on track.
Yeah, we'll stay on track.
I would totally go off on a tangent. But Leslie, who have you got from Exile Island?
Okay, so it's kind of unfair because I've met Tina and I love her. So that's why I had to mention her. I feel like, I think it was just a little too early for her, after the death of her son. And I think it was before her time. And even though it was later, that she played later than she was supposed to, I still think she needed more time because there's so much in her that she wasn't able to give. And I completely, as a mother, understand that. So I would love to have her on my tribe if we were to put together a dream tribe, just because her heart is so big. She's strong as an ox. I mean, and she's probably got some things about her and the way that she would play the game in a normal everyday day that we haven't seen yet. I really believe. So I'd like to see her play again. And then, of course, I said Sari, duh. But then when I said Sari, I was like, well, I mean, that's a given. So let's mention someone else. And then I was like, well, Danielle. I mean, of course, I remember when I was on the show, there were horrible comments on Survivor Sucks. Do you guys remember hearing about this? It's probably way before your time, but
I think we talked about it on the pod.
yeah. So Survivor Sucks was like this horrifying place where it's like a message board where they would like destroy you if you were on the show.
Yeah.
And they put pictures of me because when I lose weight, for some reason, like my teeth get really big. Like I get, because I don't know why, but they would put a picture of me and Danielle and a horse beside each, and they would like compare us. And I was like, people are such assholes. She's beautiful. And if I look like her, I'm happy, but I just remember thinking she like, as well as she played, and that's what you're walking away with. Like, I couldn't believe it. She was so impressive. And I don't know why, but I looked at a picture of Courtney today and I went, she's memorable. Like, I remember watching her play. And I think she was probably very emotional, which went against, probably did not help her. But, I mean, she was the final 6. So pretty good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, and she was such a character too. She was fun to watch. That's really memorable.
High highs, low lows. Love it. Perfect for TV.
Well, about the Survivor Sucks thing, people on social media that just like say rude comments to people, y'all need to get a life.
Oh my gosh, we're still people,
Survivor, like, aren't we focused on like actual gameplay? Like, Danielle was a runner-up. Like, let's focus on that. So,
right? Do we have to really do this? Like, I was horrified.
Yeah, people suck. I should start that website and talk.
There you go.
Talk. You know what about people that made that image of y'all?
Yes,
but I do have a couple women. Obviously, like most of mine have been said. Actually, all of mine have been said. I said Danielle, Suri, Courtney, and I also said Sally was kind of underrated. Now, obviously, Sally was unfortunately on the tribe that didn't go into the merge with numbers. So she just like, it was clear that she was going to be one of the ones picked off. Like, it was just going to be a matter of time. But I mean, she was pretty impressive. I mean, she had like a very level head, and she got saved by being sent to exile, but she did spend time on Exile Island, which is it's not easy to do that.
No.
So, I wanted to give her a little bit of credit too. She was kind of quiet. She didn't, do anything like too in your face or anything like that. But I just figured, you know what? Let's bring up Sally because she deserves
she was so cute too. Such adorable. She reminded me of Dolly. Like, that was that character. She was that character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I really liked her.
Me too.
And what a good season too. When we went into the rewatch episode, I knew I liked Panama, but it wasn't like one of my favorite seasons. Like, it's not really in my top 10. I don't really think of it immediately when I think of like, iconic Survivor seasons, but it is truly so iconic. And I'm so glad we did the rewatch episode because I saw things kind of in a different light, and I just like kind of enjoyed it more this time around.
Yeah.
Just overall, that season is really good. But then we get to one of my all-time favorite seasons, Cook Island, season 13. And we have a lot of memorable people on the season, a lot of people that ended up returning too. So let's go back to Leslie starting out this round. Who have you got from Cook Islands?
Well, okay. So I'm going to mention Stephanie Faber only because when I went to audition, like I did went to a television studio in Columbia, South Carolina. She was there signing autographs, and she signed an autograph for me and said, "Come on, you've got this, you've got this." Aww. So when I was getting ready to go, somehow we got in contact with each other, which probably, not allowed to talk about that. But she told me something that really helped me. She was like, "Just remember, the interview clothes really matter. That's all I'm going to tell you. But the media clothes matter." And they were the ones that you ended up wearing. So when they say, "Get your media clothes on," every time they would say, "Get your media clothes on," I'd be like, is the game going to start? It was nice to have that inside information. And it really did help me pick out the right thing for my clothes. I really thought everything through. And so I you know what, love her. I know she didn't last very long, but she was fantastic.
Good.
Loved Parvati. Oh, I mean, the world was introduced to the most amazing Survivor player of all time, I believe. Would I want to play with her? No, I would not want to play with her. She would destroy me. You know what? Because I am such a sucker for a kind person, and she is so freaking kind, and yet so conniving. I don't know how she does it. It's impressive. I actually took her course on how to be a villain because I'm learning to like speak up for myself and be a little less like whatever you want. It's all about you. I'm trying really hard to get out of that mindset, which I think religion teaches us. And Parvati really, she gets it. She really does. So I have mad respect for her. And then Becky Lee, come on. She was freaking Yule's #1 the entire game. And it was like, why didn't she get the respect he did? I don't know. Just my opinion.
Yeah. No, that's 100%. I mean, she might have just been like, they're both kind of quieter players.
Yeah.
She was making the same moves alongside him the entire time. And
he consulted her about everything.
Yeah. Like maybe she was just the slightly quieter version, but like, yeah, no, I'm so with that. Definitely glad you brought up Becky. And yeah, Parvati's obviously an icon. We'll talk more.
Yeah.
But Ollie, you seem to be frozen on my end. Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Am I moving now?
You have a
You're not moving, but we hear you.
Face on.
Okay, you can. I will talk and then I will sort myself out.
Okay. Yeah, please share your iconic women. We would love to hear.
So, I mean, I know you're probably going to talk about Sari, Tori, so I'll let no.
Wait.
Poverty.
Oh, Parvati. I was like, I mean, I started to
got my seasons mixed up. So I'm going to talk about someone else that made it deep, which was Sandra. I really loved Sandra's energy. I thought she was such a sweetheart. Like I just loved how she navigated the game, and obviously she is now a very successful actress, which we absolutely love. And then the other person I kind of want to talk about is Candice. You can't not talk about Candice. Like we saw kind of her do these. I don't even think she was that big this season, and then kind of heroes versus villains and blood versus water occurred where we've really got to see Candice. But I loved her tenacity on this season because she really was getting put through it, but also still staying true to herself. Like the amount of time she just gets sent to Exile Island. So definitely got to give some love to Candice there. And then if I can do just a little deep cut, someone who was absolutely under-edited, got another purple edit before Purple Kelly did, and that is Rebecca. She was one of the first few jury members. I feel like she deserved a bit more of an edit.
Okay. Love those choices. And I love a deep cut, Ollie, because I can always count on you for that. So, and that's not even like that deep, I guess, but I mean, depending who you talk to, it is. But anyway, love all of those choices. As always, all of my choices have been brought up. I did want to mention Sandra because, I mean, she was amazing. I also loved her energy, for all the reasons that have already been mentioned are kind of like what I was going to bring up. Ollie assumed I was going to talk about Parvati, and he was right. I mean, she is, in my opinion, her winning season. I know this wasn't it, but her winning season was, I think, still the most impressive of all time.
Very much.
I think some of my top winning seasons are actually women. So Parvati's winning season, Kim Spradlin, and Natalie Anderson are three that always come to mind. Like if people are asking me, like, who do you think played the most amazing game of Survivor? Those are probably like the first three that I would say. So, but again, I know we're talking about Cook Islands here. I mean, we see her, it's just interesting because like she obviously like played the flirtatious, like girly card a little bit, but she's so good at it. It's kind of like what Leslie was saying. Like she's so kind and she knows exactly like how far to turn it up and, exactly how to use it. And, she's just amazing at the game. And would I want to play with her? Absolutely not, because she would also destroy me, Leslie. I think, I'm also a sucker for people. Like, it's amazing how quickly, this is going to make me sound like such a sucker, but it's amazing how quickly somebody just like complimenting me or like
Mhm.
being nice for a second, especially if I'm having like a bad day. It's amazing how quickly I could be like, I love that person. Like
You're my
I'm
bestie.
all in on that person, and like I'll do anything for them. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's amazing how quickly somebody can make my day. And I feel like she would probably pick up on that and be like, oh,
Mhm.
like all I need to do is, pretend like I'm her best friend for a second. But
She's good at it.
Sorry, have I ever told you that your hair looks so lovely today? Your
Oh,
hair
it
looks
I
does.
don't think you did. Oh my gosh, thank you. It's
very
been a little
Parvati-esque.
Yes.
But anyway, I thought you were being honest for a second, but yeah,
I was.
new bestie. Yeah, I'll do anything you say, Ollie. But now I'm on to you, so never mind. Anyway, iconic season, iconic players. I love all the people that got brought up. I also was going to say Candace, but what comes to mind really for me with Candace is like her little showmance that she had early on. Like that always, for whatever reason, whenever I think of Candace and her original season, the showmance, and then like the Billy moment where he's
Yeah,
like,
the Billy moment.
"I fell in love out here." Her name is
God love him. He's
I'm
such a sweetheart.
I wish I would have said that for my favorite Survivor moment when I was making like my initial video to like be on the podcast, because that's literally my favorite Survivor moment. It's so good. Anyway, we then get to a season that like they sort of like corrected the idol issues, I guess we can say. So, I mean, we talked about this on yesterday's podcast again. I keep bringing that up, but we were talking about the idol a little bit and how they had some kinks to work out. Like originally they had to play it before votes were cast in Guatemala. And then in 12 and 13, you could play it after the votes were read, which is super idol. So, yeah, that obviously like wasn't the best way to utilize the idol, but in Fiji, that's one of the most iconic things, like the most memorable things I think about Fiji. But we also have some memorable women, and I forget who we started with last time. I think we started with Leslie. Let's go to Ollie this time.
We'll go to me. Okay. Well, speaking of idols, it kind of segues into the star woman for me, which is the icon, the moment, Stacey Kimball. If there is a person from Fiji that I will always stand and love, it is Stacey Kimball. She's obviously the first the first person to ever be successfully idled out. Obviously, that's not a great thing to say, but she is memorable in that way. And also, she was really switched on. Like when it came to the game itself, like I think one of the biggest moves that kind of occurred, which was the switch of the votes to, I want to say it was Eduardo. That was Stacey. So like props to her. And then the only other woman I kind of want to bring up is Michelle. Like how that woman has not come back to play again, I do not know.
100%.
I feel like Michelle was so well received by fans and really loved, and just a sweet energy. Like I could have easily seen her on like Heroes versus Villains. I could have easily seen her on the Heroes Tribe. So yeah, those are my two picks.
Love.
Great.
Leslie, who have you got?
Well, I also said Michelle and Stacey. I just think they're both incredible players and very memorable and likable. Like it's so fun when you actually really like the way somebody acts and plays. You know what I mean? Like it's just fun that way. And of course I said Lacey. There was just something about her Denise character, that she just reminds me of like the Denise or the Shambo. She was very memorable, very strong, funny, emotionally completely overreactive. That's so entertaining on TV. I want somebody who's going to lose their shit every now and then. You know what I mean? Like I really want that to happen. And so she was fun to watch for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely. It's real. Like
it's so real. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We women, this is what we do. And if you're not acting like that, you have incredible self-control in a game like this, because it pulls it out of you,
It really does. Absolutely.
Well,
I mean, I feel like my answers are boring now because they have all been said. So my I did put Lacey down too. I feel like maybe this was fresh in my mind, but I put Stacey down, the idled out situation, and she's just like she seemed like a likable person, which I mean, again, this has already been said. This is nothing new, but I'm glad to hear that people agree. But Michelle, I totally agree that I would have loved to have seen her back. She's just such a sweetheart. I mean, so smiley, so bubbly, like just seems like another easy person to work with, somebody else that would like lure me in with her like friendliness and her personality. I just feel like I would love her.
Yes.
In real life.
Yeah.
I loved her on the show. And then I did say Lucy was memorable. Like for some reason, she just like sticks out. Like you just like remember her face, kind of. And you're right. She was very real. I want to see real people out there, and that's what we got. So
I love it.
Watch her too.
So cool.
But then we get to Leslie's season 15. One of my personal favorite seasons. I mean, I love season 15. It's so good.
I mean, I believe it's the best, but I'm also a little biased, just a little.
I think a lot of people would agree with you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was you know what? We were all just so random and different and, from such different walks of life. And it was so hard. And when you're in a situation like that, like it can't help but be entertaining. But I do remember sitting out there thinking, they're not going to show this season. This is so boring. Like you literally just sit there. You don't understand how much of Survivor is boring. And you're like, they're just not even going to pick this up. This is what is happening. There's nothing happening,
Oh my gosh.
And so when I watched it back, I'm like, holy crap, we are really entertaining. This was fun. That was a fun ride.
Oh God, yeah. Like I think I said this to you off camera, Leslie, but this is one of my favorite seasons. Like when we did our season rankings at the start of the year, like I fought for China to be so high. I was like, no one is telling me that China's not going below at least the top 10. So yeah, I love China.
Well, I think having 16 castaways instead of 18 or 20 is so helpful if you want to get to know the people, if you want to understand who they are. And I think all of us were so willing to share our lives with everyone. I mean, there was nothing else to do out there except talk, you know what I mean? And try to survive and die. But yeah, it was quite an entertaining season. And the people were just so great to play with. So great.
I'm obsessed with that season. Definitely top 10. And I actually made a TikTok recently ranking my top 10 seasons. I think I ranked it 5 or 6, I want to say. And so, yeah, it's like right there. It's so good. And it stands the test of time. I mean, to me, every season of Survivor stands the test of time. Like I will go back and watch. I think season 1 is the one I've seen the most. Like I've rewatched season 1 like plenty of times. And a lot of people think like it's too boring, it's too old. I just think it's so entertaining to see people not know the game. And like
they had no idea what they were getting into.
Yeah,
none.
They had no idea. They had no idea what it would become. I mean, I love every season for different reasons. But anyway, I'll always rewatch. So Survivor China, definitely amazing. But Leslie, this will be interesting to get your perspective. Like, who are the women that you had from this season that you wanted to put on your list?
I mean, Courtney, duh. She is amazing. She is real. She and I connected like I mean, we were like inseparable. I wish they would have shown more of it. They showed a little bit of it, but they didn't show the extent. I mean, we literally spent every second together, and we would make sure that when we were doing chores that we did them together. And we would go to this one little area in the back, and we called it our air conditioning area because it was right by a little brook, and there were trees, and it was, I would say, 10 degrees cooler just sitting in that area. And we would sit there and talk for hours. And the cameraman, they would just be like, oh my God, are they ever going to move? We're like, no, we're doing chores. So I because I connect with her on such a human level, Courtney would have to be my girl. And then, Amanda and I were in an alliance initially, like when we first got together as a, tribe. I really, really liked playing with her. She's very quiet. And I remember her getting annoyed with me once when we were fishing because I kept wanting to talk. And she was like, you're scaring the fish away. So I was like, okay. So she taught me, to be quiet when you fish. And, I mean, PG is such a strategist and such an amazing human being. I would love to work with her as well. So, I mean, I don't know. And Sharia is my bestie, so I love her. And then Jamie's amazing. And we were in a cross-tribal alliance that they didn't show. So that was kind of sad. I don't know. I would pick every single one of these women and in a heartbeat. Even Ashley, loved her so much. she and I got actually very close after we were voted out and spent a lot of time together. So I got to know her in a way that I don't think many people got to, because we just had nothing but time. And so yeah, pretty devastated about her not being with us anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, obviously you mentioned a lot of names, but everybody on that season, I mean, you're right. They're just so special. That even comes off to like a fan, right? Like I can just tell, like, all those people would be amazing to play with, to know all the things.
It's true. And we try to have at least, like FaceTime reunions or whatever, but we keep talking about having a real life one, but it's hard to get some of the people. We can't get in contact with Amanda. We're trying. Yeah, it's tough. And if somebody isn't easy to get in contact with, that tells me they may not want to be contacted. So I try to be respectful of that. And so, but I really miss her. I would love to catch up with her.
Definitely. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so glad you brought all of those names up. But Ollie, I'm always interested to hear your perspective, because sometimes we are so aligned, but sometimes I'm like, what? I could argue with this man. But anyway, I'm interested to hear who you're going to say.
I mean, I think you know who I'm going to say. My all-time favorite Survivor castaway is on this season, and it's Courtney Yates.
Yes, of course.
I absolutely love Courtney Yates. I think every time there is a chance to talk about Courtney Yates, I will bring her up.
100%.
Just absolutely love it. So authentic, like literally how she was on the island. I always say, like, that is probably how I will end up. I will just, I will moan and I will just be my authentic self, and it will be because of Courtney Yates. So yeah, absolutely love and adore her. Just thinking, the moment that sticks out for me with Courtney is in the hole in the den, and she's there, and PG's coming over, and you then just get the confessional of Courtney going, "Well, it's my happy place. Please, you have not come to the happy place. Leave." And I was just like, "This is so me." But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I could highlight, and this is actually a testament to you, Leslie, and all of the women of China. I could highlight a moment that I remember of every female, and that is a testament to you all as players. But I also got to give some love to Sharia. I absolutely loved her. I thought she was robbed. I wish we'd seen her emerge. And then PG as well. She was above her time, and I wish she made it further in second chances. But I'm glad she kind of got her moment in China as well. But yeah, absolutely love China.
PG is our first interview on our new podcast,
Aww,
Beyond the Torch.
That's such a good one.
And you'll find out why in that one, why she did not do as well in second chances. It was a really great interview, really great. So,
oh my gosh, you've got me hooked. I'm excited.
I know.
Yeah, I'm
so
watching.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I don't know why I said for this season, I don't know why I threw out the comment about me disagreeing with Ollie, because there's no way to disagree with Ollie on this season, because I also love Courtney. She's not I wouldn't say she's my favorite player of all time the way Ollie does, but she's definitely up there. She's so memorable, so fun. Loved her in both her seasons. I mean, how could you not? And she did really well on this season too. So she definitely sticks out as a memorable character. I'm a huge Amanda fan, so I had to bring up Amanda, obviously. I mean, 2 back-to-back seasons where she made it all the way to the end, never got voted out until she came back a 3rd time. I mean, you have to give credit where credit's due. Obviously, she did not win either of those seasons, but I mean, she played really well. And I remember watching this season, and we had definitely seen women be gamers on other seasons and come to play and be super locked in. For some reason, Amanda really stuck out to me as I'm like, oh my God, she's really focused and really she's here to play. And so I don't know, for some reason she just really stuck out to me like that. And she was a major, I thought one of the first major strategists that we saw in terms of women that came and were doing that. Obviously we had already seen Suri, we had seen some iconic strategists and people that played beautifully. But anyway, wanted to throw Amanda out there. And I also love Denise. I love Denise.
Yeah.
I always laugh about the comment where James is like, oh, if she was like a few years younger, we'd have a problem. I thought that was
I
so
was
funny.
dying.
Oh my God. It was
They
so
had such a connection. It was so odd. I was like,
Mm.
what is
I loved
happening?
I love
What is
it.
What is going
happening?
on here?
She did not like me. She did not like me at all. And I think it's because we were both moms on the same
Mm.
tribe, and I was more of the mom. Everybody called me mom. And I think she was like, I got to get rid of her. And she got mad at me one time and yelled at me. And I just I couldn't please her. And so like right before we went into tribal, they had put our microphones on, they were adjusting it, and she came over and gave me a big hug. And I was like, oh, that was nice. Maybe we're good now. And I realized as soon as we sat down, I went, oh my gosh, she's going to vote me out. That was a goodbye hug. And I was right.
That's
She,
sad.
she voted
I'm
me out.
sorry.
It's okay. She did the right thing for her game. She did.
Yeah.
Because I would have kicked her ass.
You would have. And you know what? That's a really positive way to look at it.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I gotta say, some people are so lovely about like being voted out. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm sure I would be like that, like towards other people, but I would be so salty.
Oh yeah. I was hurt. I cried a lot. I was really sad. I was like, what did I do? What did I do? And then when you watch it back, you're like, oh, well, I mean, they had to play the game.
Sure.
So,
Absolutely.
mhm.
Unfortunately, someone's got to go. But we're very sad that it had to be you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that early on, obviously. But I mean, there's so much to love about this season. One more thing I wanted to bring up about this season that I actually, for whatever reason, I like was just watching this challenge, because that's another thing I do. I like watch the challenges on like YouTube, or like I go to the season and I'll flip to like the challenge that I know I like. That's like a really weird thing about me, I feel like. But
No, I
Not at all.
but the one that I love from China, so I love like a wrestling challenge, like a really physical one, and the one where you had to like cross the bridge and like try to get people off the platform. That one is so good. Oh my God.
It was so hard. Let me tell you something. Those John Hu girls were so strong. They flung me off of that boat like I was a piece of nothing. And I mean, it was the one time, like when she threw me, I think it was PG threw me off the first time. I was like, she is so little. How is she so strong? I was so amazed at the strength. And I was terrified of Sharia.
Yeah.
Sharia, I mean, she was like crawling at me and looking at, I was like, oh my God. And then Ashley, like in the first challenge, threw me into the, I was like, these women are insane. I mean, the only way they were going to win is if it was women against women. They had to get James out of there. They had to get John Robert out of, they had to figure out a way, and they figured it out. They wanted John Hu to win that.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, it was funny to watch the men too, because James just like would take 3 people and like just dump them in the water.
Oh, you know what? He didn't like swimming. And so he didn't want to get in the water. So he did whatever he had to do to not have to get in the water.
Yeah. It's a good thing he's strong.
Yeah. He was so strong. I was like,
really worked out for him. That's
and Dave took his pants off. And you know, when you're there in real life, it doesn't have the blurry spot over it.
Oh my God. Yep.
You have to look at it.
About that. You don't think about that.
But it's there in my head. It's like seared. It's disgusting. Anyway.
Unfortunately. Iconic season, Leslie. You played in arguably the best season possible.
I agree.
It's a good thing it took you a few months to get on the show, because you ended up on a really good season.
100%. I mean, it was the absolute best time for me to be on. And I'm thankful for the experience. I just really, really, really wish they would have shown my strategy.
Yeah.
We did the first cross-tribal alliance. They didn't show it. And they didn't show it because it didn't pan out, because they voted me out. So, and the reason they voted me out wasn't because of any other reason except that I lied. And they didn't show that either. They wanted to know why they took me over there when the challenge was over. Or, they were like, why did they? I think Aaron was pissed because he wanted to be the one to, go, and he wanted to be kidnapped, and they kidnapped me. And he's like, she's insignificant. What are you doing? What he didn't know is that me and Jamie made a cross-tribal alliance and included Todd and Eric. So the 4 of us decided we were going to make sure that it was always one of us 4 that got kidnapped. And then we were going to be the ones to bring the idols into the merge. And so we had this all going on, and they didn't even show it. And I was so proud of that. I was like, we were working so hard. And the reason I got voted out was because when Aaron asked me, why did they pick you? I made something up. I was like, well, there's Christians on the tribe. Maybe that's why. And I lied because I didn't want to tell him the truth.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, the tie that binds, we got to vote her out. She's, and I was like, crap. I should have said something else. So anyway.
Oh my God.
I'm glad I got to say that. Thank you.
Whenever I hear these things, like as a viewer, I'm like, I would have loved to see that.
I
know they can't show everything, especially since like back then it was only hour-long episodes. Now we've got 90 minutes. But I mean, I would have loved to have seen some of this. Like that sounds so entertaining. But
well, and in tribal council, Jeff said he knew I was getting voted out before I did. He said, I can't believe you're about to vote out the one person that I really believe you can actually trust. And I went,
wow.
Oh my God, they're voting me out. I thought they were going to vote out either John Robert or Courtney. And I wasn't voting for Courtney. So me and Courtney made a pact. I was like, I'm not voting for you, so that it's not like fully all Courtney. And they got me.
Huh. Wow. Yeah. That is so crazy. And as I said, unfortunate. Would have loved more Leslie. Bring back
too. Yeah, bring back Leslie. Let's start that. Let's go.
Leslie for second chances.
Yes. We would love it. I'll advocate as much as I'm able to. But I would love to talk more about China.
Yeah,
but
we got to move on.
Two back-to-back iconic seasons because we had China and then we had fans versus favorites. Season 16, Micronesia. This is my favorite season of all time. I have to say. Like I will always say that that's my favorite season. It's so good. Obviously, so for returning, I never know what to call these, like returning player, like whatever, returnee seasons. We normally will skip them. But since this is half new players, we obviously have to talk about it.
Yeah.
So, Ollie, and I guess like, I don't mind, I'll just like make the executive decision that I don't mind if we bring up returning players for this. Just because it's a unique season. Let's just say that. But Ollie, who forgot?
I won't. I'll go for the newbies. And the person that I want to talk about, she loves to floss the teeth with the jugular. She managed to get a lovely individual immunity handed to her. It is the Queen, Natalie Bolton. I stan Natalie. I love Natalie. Wish she was on 50. Wish she was on Game Changers. Wish she was on Winners at War. I just wish she was on anything. She was meant to be on Heroes versus Villains. She was obviously the alternate for Queen Courtney, so I had to sacrifice one for the other. But yeah, I love Natalie. I wish we got to see her again, like play again, because I think the fans would eat her up. I mean, obviously she gets a lot of fan love anyway, but I think she would just get more if she played again. So yeah. Love Natalie Bolton. Will always love her.
Yeah.
For sure. 100%. I mean, what an iconic person to bring up. I also had her on my list, but I'll save that for when it's my turn because I need to know who Leslie had.
Well, I mean, I definitely had Natalie. We met at an event once and I just love her. She is such an amazing woman. Here's the thing about Survivor that people need to understand that I'm not sure that it's even expressed enough. But when they put you on the show, you are a one-dimensional character. They don't have the capacity to show everything that you have to offer the world. So they're going to only show the things that fit in with the character that they are putting you on the show to be, which is why you only saw Courtney being a loudmouth. You didn't see when she was being maternal and loving and kind and helping hold my hair back when I threw up and walking with me, in the middle of the night in the jungle because I had, a parasite. Like they didn't show that. And I think that, with Natalie, I was so struck by how incredibly deep and smart and kind and inclusive and she is amazing. So I would love her. And, for some reason I put Tracy Hughes Wolf and that's, I know she didn't win or anything, but what a badass. She was always the quote older woman, but you would never know it to look at her. She's smart. She's strong. She's like, you wouldn't go, oh, you're an old woman. Like they did with me when I was 38 on the show. They called me the old lady. I'm like, okay, whatever. but like she was really great. And she was somebody who I really was impressed, with how she played the game. So
Absolutely. No, I mean, it's funny that, well, first of all, before I say mine, it's funny that you bring up the older woman thing, because this also came up on our rewatch of Panama, that like the older women tribe included Suri, who was 35 at the time. Like, I'm almost 35. Like, I'd be on the old woman tribe.
the old woman. Yeah.
I guess I'm like, and she didn't see herself that way either. I'm like, I'm shook that like they saw like mid 30 somethings as like the old women of the tribe. But I guess here we are. So it's interesting that you bring that up. But my women, as always, have already been brought up. I did have Tracy on mine as well. I just thought that she was very underrated, and unfortunately, she sort of aligned herself with two weak members of her tribe.
Right.
In Kathy and Chet, and she obviously wanted to stay loyal to them. She liked them. They were friends. Like, she didn't want to betray them. So you have to respect that. But at the same time, I do think that if she would have tried to join up and like try to figure out like, hey, if I betray them, like who could I join up with? Who could I get? Like, what could I do? I do think that they might have welcomed her, because she was really strong, like smarter than like, people were giving her credit for. And I do think that her alignment with the wrong people really cost her the game, because she could have gone further, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely I enjoyed her. I think that, again, she was sort of robbed, I guess we could say.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did obviously have Queen Natalie. Like, she was a pretty quiet player, but made like, she and Suri, like obviously with the help of her alliance, like they made the biggest move in Survivor history. Like, I still think it's the biggest move in Survivor history, and it's still heavily talked about in the Survivor.
They owned those boys. They owned them.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Like, absolutely,
it was chef's kiss. Beautiful.
And the thing is, like, obviously, I know with the move with Eric, like everyone gives kind of Suri the credit, gives Poverty the credit. That move would not have gone down if Natalie didn't do it. Like, if Natalie didn't do it, like it wouldn't have worked. So, like, we need to give Natalie her credit on that, because, like, she was the pivotal part for me. She was the center of that. So. Yeah.
Like, I do think that Suri was sort of like the brains. Like, she's the one that sort of like made them think like this could actually be a possibility. But Natalie talked him into it. Natalie's the one that went up to him and did the talking. So yeah, most of the credit, I do agree, goes to Natalie. But hats off to the Queen. I always have wished that she would come back, and I still have hope. I'm holding on to hope.
It could happen.
Maybe it's a dream that will never come true, but we will see. Time will tell.
We will see. Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, I mentioned this earlier to Leslie. I think you were having connection issues at the time, Ollie, but I mentioned on here already that Parvati's win is still, in my opinion, the best win that we have ever seen. I mean, like a case can be made for some other players. I mean, every winner that has won the game, like, the argument can be made they deserve to win the game. Like, I do believe that. But I mean, Parvati, Kim Spradlin, Natalie Anderson, those are three of the most iconic wins that we've seen. And I will always think that. I mean, how could you not? I don't think that I'm alone in that. So yeah, hats off to Queen Parvati. I know she was a returning player, but we love her. So it's interesting to go from this season to Gabon, because Gabon was kind of a quiet season. I mean, it had some moments and it had some players that like had a presence, I guess, but it doesn't like get talked about a lot. Like, not a lot of players from the season really get brought up. We didn't have a lot of those players return back. It's just not really talked about a lot. But I always think every season of Survivor is good Survivor, and I do think that this is maybe another sort of underrated season. Like, on a rewatch, I think a lot of people would find that they're surprised at how much they love it. But following Micronesia is hard, I do think.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah. But anyway, Leslie, who have you got from Gabon?
Okay, so Karine, I mean, holy crap. Like, I did not like her. I'll be very clear. I was like, oh, but I think she would have, she's so the opposite of me when it comes to the way she plays, that I think our games would have complemented each other well. I think I could have been sort of the softer, and she could have been that tough. I don't know, but I'm always drawn to women like that because I'm not like that. But I'm fully aware that I need that in my life. So she would be somebody I'd want to play with. And then Sugar. Now, see, I've met her in person too, and I absolutely adore her. We've had some really great conversations. I just think there's more to her than we've been able to see on Survivor. And then of course, Susie, bless her heart, made it so far, but she's been through so much since the show. And I'm just curious how that has changed her and how she would play now. I don't know. I think she'd be fun to play with. So
yeah, agree. I absolutely agree.
I love those choices.
Yeah.
Ali, you were just frozen again, but you are not anymore. So
am I good?
You're all good. You look great.
I was gonna say you mentioned Susie, Leslie, and she was on my list. In my opinion, was she robbed of a win? Possibly. But yeah, I really did enjoy Susie again. I think she was just really authentic. And
she was.
It was a rewatch. It was a rewatch that made me go, do you know what? I absolutely love you. And then I feel like with Gabon, you can't talk about Gabon without talking about Crystal Cox. Like the personality, like so unfiltered. It was hilarious. So yeah, those are my two picks.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Yeah. I mean, I had Corinne. I mean, that final tribal speech, little brutal, but very entertaining.
Yeah.
And you love it. It's good TV. Did Sugar deserve it? Probably not. But some of those final tribal speeches are not well deserved, I guess, and people are feeling in the heat of the moment. So
they're just mad.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, they have a right to be mad, absolutely. So, but it's great TV, and I love it, and I do love her as a player. I loved seeing her back too. She comes back obviously in a few seasons from now. So yeah, I wrote her down. I wrote Sugar down. She went through a lot in the game, and
she did.
He was pretty much the reason Bob got his win. I mean, he was gonna get voted out, and she was kind of like the good guys should win in the end. And I think that sort of sealed the deal on her becoming a hero a few seasons later, because she obviously, she endured a lot, and she kept a smile on her face, and she tried to stay strong throughout it all. I think that definitely gives hero, but I think her sort of protecting Bob in the end really kind of she deserves a lot of credit for that, because she's the reason he won. And she obviously went to the end, so there's credit due for that as well. Crystal is another name I had written down. I mean, she's good. She's very entertaining. She came right out, and obviously she's this Olympian, super athletic woman. And, I was like, this is going to be a badass. And she was great. She was great to watch. She was great TV. And those are the names that I had written down.
Nice.
Again, not very exciting that I repeated some of that have already been said. But one more thing though, I am going to disagree that Susie was robbed of a win. I don't think that she deserved it. But we can go ahead and disagree on that. That'll be fine. Anyway, that's Gabon, season 17, Survivor 17. The last time that we saw Africa, I think, right? That there was no other season in Africa, right?
I don't think so. I think that was it.
Tocantins is Brazil. So anyway, that's that on that. Then we get to Tocantins. This is another season that I absolutely love. It is also in my top 10. I think in my TikTok I ranked it 7 or 8, something like that. Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah, I love it. Leslie, who do you have from Tocantins?
I have two that I when I was kind of reminding myself of it, that really stuck out to me were Aaron and Sierra. I thought the two of them, I don't know. I just thought they were fun to watch. They the full range of emotions. This is one thing I really look for in a woman player. I need to be able to see that you're real and authentic, at least when you're doing the side twos, when you're talking to the producer. You don't need to do that with everyone else, but lose your ever loving mind in front of those cameras at some point, and then I'm locked in. I'm your girl, So I liked both of them. I thought they did a good job. I don't know. I remembered them. And then Deborah, she's actually on the schedule to be on our Beyond the Torch, and I can't wait to hear what she's been up to. So yeah, we're excited about that.
Oh, I love that. I'm excited.
Yeah.
To hear it.
Yeah.
All right, good choices.
Thank
Allie,
you.
who you got?
I mean, for me, so Tocantins is actually the first season I ever watched. Literally, I watched Tocantins and then I went and watched China. So that's my story. For me, Tocantins, I cannot not bring up Taj. I adore Taj. I mean, Sisters with Voices, I knew her from before that, and I was like, that's Taj. I was like, I know her. And then when she did what she did on the show, like she was amazing. Like she was for AU fans, think of Kirby, like someone who hadn't really watched Survivor, came on and just did the thing. Like I felt like that is what Taj did. She came on and just figured out the game quite quickly and killed it. So yeah, I've got to send my love to Taj, and then also Candice Smith. Her little rivalry with Coach, I always found hilarious. So
Yeah, that's
love
true.
me some Candice.
That is so true. I forgot about that. Yep.
Mm.
Okay.
I love a rivalry. Like any like drama, any drama that's not like, you know, obviously too over the top is so good. And I mean, Coach gave us that. I mean, you got to give credit to Coach.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why he's good TV, because he will like stir things up just enough where, I don't know, you love to see it.
Mhm.
Yes. Love it. Great choices. Yeah, I had a lot of the same ones again. Every time I wrote Taj down in my notes, I had Taj in all caps, exclamation point, exclamation point. I mean, she's in like my top 5 to ever return. Like I
wow.
really, really want to see her back. I know we're not going to get her. We're not going to get her. But I mean, it's rare to see, like sometimes I get like emotionally invested in a player and I'm like, oh, I just really like them. And sometimes like I am reminded that they're like not that good at the game, but Taj really was good at the game. I mean, she was so likable. She was so good at the game. And yeah, I mean, how she absolutely, as Ollie said, she absolutely crushed it. I mean, she's one of my favorite players from that era for sure. And then I did have Deb written down. I think that you know, I heard that she didn't love the camera at first, which is like interesting. I'll have to go back and rewatch it because it's been like maybe 2 years since my last rewatch of Tocantins. This is one I'll always come back to as well. But I think she was kind of a quieter player for a little while, but she makes it really deep into the game.
Yeah.
You know, she has a good personality and all the things that we look for in a Survivor player. And I did have Erin as well. Erin, she's a player I would also love to see return. I think that, you know, I there's not much I'll say about Erin other than like I liked her and I would love to see her back.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
She was fun to watch.
Like you brought up Sierra too. I do think that she was treated a little unfairly. I do think. I don't know her in person. I wasn't out there with her. I don't know how things get and what the conflict stems from and everything like that. But I did feel a little bit bad for her. But you know, you never know if you're out there how you would respond to a situation. So I guess I'll also say that. All right, we are getting down to it. We have season 19 next. That is Samoa. And this is also, I mean, I think a lot of the seasons in this sort of like era are either like people's top, like in their top seasons of Survivor, and they're in my personal top seasons, or they're ones that I feel like I've been saying over and over that these seasons are sometimes like underrated. And I do think that this is another one that doesn't always get the credit that it deserves. It's obviously followed by Heroes versus Villains, so perhaps it gets like overshadowed by that a little bit. But I do think that this is a really strong season with a lot of strong women. And so I can't remember who we're starting with. Let's go with Leslie. Oh, Ollie, is your turn?
Yeah, my turn.
Yep.
Okay. I've got one person to put. Obviously, I will say Natalie White. We love. The person that I want to talk about is the only person to ever ruffle Russell Hantz's feathers, and that is Monica Padilla.
Okay.
I love Monica Padilla.
Yeah.
I think, like, again, she was kind of someone that was slightly under-edited, and then it was like, she was kind of like that person. She was slightly under-edited, but fans kind of just like flocked to her. And I think it's because she did get under Russell's skin, and she was the only person to kind of prove like, no, he can be ruffled, like he can be spooked, like remember that, everyone. And then obviously we got to see her come back for Second Chances, which I was an absolute fan of. I was like, if Monica doesn't get on, I'm gonna be sad. So yeah, my pick is Ms. Monica. I love Monica.
Yeah,
she's great, so sweet too.
Yeah.
I would say I like Laura. She's so strong and so determined. She has this kind of way about her that, like, I mean, the way she played against her daughter, and like they weren't afraid to vote for each other, like all of that. I mean, that's in the future, but like in this particular season, I was just really struck because we're about the same age, and I was like, she's kind of a badass. So I love her. And then Ashley Trainer. I love Ashley Trainer. I don't think we got to see enough of her, but like I will tell you, I've met her. She was she and I went to we were somewhere in Minnesota together. And it was just like getting to know her as a person was just really refreshing. She's so sweet. And now she's just like this sweet little mom, you know, but I don't know. I would have liked to have seen her more on the show. And I think yeah, I don't know. I feel like she kind of got robbed a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And we're kind of like not talking too much about like different categories of women in this episode, but like in the past, and I mentioned this in like kind of the intro, but like we've talked about Challenge Beast, we talked about like amazing finalists, amazing winners, but also most robbed. Like most robbed is, I think, a really important category because there's so many people that have played Survivor now at this point. And, you know, I feel like there's so many people that I'm like, that person was robbed. Like, if we're talking about people that should have returned, like, that's a great person to have brought back, you know? And this is a totally different conversation, but one other thing I'll say about that is it's always interesting to me, like, a question I guess I've always had is, like, what makes a person returnable versus, like, what doesn't? Like, why haven't we thought of this person? And, of course, there's always rumors about, like, this person was asked to come back and they said no, or they couldn't, or whatever. But sometimes people, like, there's never any rumor that any, like, certain people have even been asked. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
I actually talked to them about Second Chances. They called me for that.
No
they
way.
didn't end up picking me, but they called me and I was shocked. Because I'm like,
cool.
I was gone in 3 episodes, you know, but they said, no, but you were memorable and people want to see you come back because you were
memorable. And the other thing is, like, that's what Second Chances is
you know? About.
Like, Wentworth went out pre-merge in her original season and she came back and was an icon, you know, like
Kimmy Kappenberg,
So I mean, hey, that's what those seasons are for, and that's why I'm hopeful that maybe there's going to be a Second Chances 2 or something like that, because there's so many players I'd love to see back.
They just need to do it soon. I'm getting older.
Oh my god. You got it though. You got it.
I mean, I do have it. I still teach fitness classes.
Heck
I'm in great shape.
I need to take your class.
And I don't think I'll get a site in Fiji. I think that would be more like a vacation.
You're all good. Wait, where are your fitness classes? I need to take a class.
Yeah, here in Utah. I teach at it's called The Studio, Elevated Fitness. And I do Pilates and spin and strength and all kinds of fun stuff.
Get it, girl. I'm in Chicago, but I mean, hey, I'm willing to travel.
If you're ever in the area, if you ever come to ski, let me know.
I would love to. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But y'all, Samoa, underrated season, as I said before. I do have, obviously, Natalie White. Like, I kind of love, like, even though I would love for her to, like, come back on a random season, it wouldn't be Second Chances because Second Chances for non-winners. But, like, if they were to do another, like, returning season, I would love for her to just pop back up. But at the same time, I kind of love that she just, like, won her $1 million and then just fled the scene.
Disappeared.
So, like, she is gone. And, like,
thank you.
I wish her well. I hope she's doing great. But what a queen, what an icon. And she totally deserved the win. I mean, a lot of people were, like, floored that Russell didn't win that season.
It was that was one of the most joyous moments I've ever experienced. I do not like that man. I've never liked him. And I like everybody. So this is saying a lot.
Oh, that says so much. Yeah. Oh my God.
I will always stand on the fact Russell did not deserve to win either of his seasons.
No, and he never learned his lesson. Yeah, I do love those 2 seasons that he's on. And like part of it is like I do think he makes like some good TV, but I mean
he does.
I
Like no denying that.
I didn't want him to win.
Mhm.
But yeah, anyway, like, but on a rewatch, you notice that Natalie's game was gaming. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't just doing nothing this whole time.
Oh goodness.
And I think that that's the point that was trying to come across at Final Tribal is that, you know, this girl, like, what's so great about the way that he played? Like, what's wrong with the way she played? Like, she was doing the thing, and she deserves this title. So I'm really glad that she won that season. And again, I kind of love that she's off the scene, even though I'd love to see her back at the same time.
So satisfying. So satisfying.
I love it. And I wrote down Laura, and I do think that she stood out to me personally more in Blood versus Water. Like that's what I like when I think of Laura, I think Blood versus Water, but like you have to obviously give her credit for her first season. And then, I mean, Shambo, what a character. I mean, I wrote her down too. I loved watching her. She was just, she came out and was like, you know, this like fun leader type. And I really enjoyed that. I loved her early moments, especially. And yeah.
The game wears on you, and it showed a lot with her game.
It did.
It showed how emotionally difficult it can be to be stripped of everything and to be, you know, literally fighting for your life, but also fighting for $1 million and trying, you know, it'll mess with you. It'll mess with you.
Oh yeah. Oh, and yeah, you see that in multiple seasons, honestly. Like if you watch, and especially for those of us that have like rewatched seasons countless times and now we're paying attention to new things, like you really kind of see that in people. But in terms of it's, especially as I said, like in Shambo's early days, I really did enjoy what she brought. She was unique, and I really enjoyed the fact that she was the tribe leader. I mean, people liked her, especially in those beginning days. So yeah, love me some Shambo, some early Shambo. Well, we do have heroes versus villains, but that is one that we're going to skip because it is all returnees. But it's another one of my favorite seasons. I mean, what a great season. I just have to say, like, I can't just like completely skip over it because it is so good. That's my second favorite season of all time. And I don't think any of these like favorite seasons of mine are hot takes because like a lot of people will say that Heroes versus Villains is their favorite season. I think that they absolutely knocked it out of the park with the cast. I would have loved to have seen Natalie Bolton back, but other than that, other than like maybe like one or two, I think that they absolutely crushed it. Like there are very few changes that I would make to this cast.
Same.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would like to say I would have loved to at some point play with Sandra because we've become very, very good friends, you know, since, you know, all of the games and everything. You know, we've talked, we've hung out. She's come stayed with me. I've stayed with her. Like we are really, which is so funny. People are like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I love Sandra. She's great. She's real. She's just like Courtney. Like what you see is what you get. Like that is literally who they are. And in real life, but she has a heart of gold. And she's like such a, I don't know, she's kind, not only to the Survivor family, but also to the fans. Like she is such a good human being. I would love to play the game with her. And I would be just fine if she kicked my ass. I would be fine. I would be like, you did it. Good job. You are the queen.
Absolutely. All hail the queen.
All hail the queen.
You know,
you couldn't not say that. You know,
that's why she and Courtney got along though.
Exactly.
Right. And I think that really speaks to like who they are as people. Like they're like they're villains on the screen, but you know, all in the best possible way, of course. You know, like but I can tell like I would really love them as human. Every villain, like that's the thing about like villains is that like you see a villain on screen and like obviously it's because of maybe like one or like a few things that they said for the most part. Like it's maybe like a move that they made that was a little bit dirty, but like I can tell they're all lovely people. Like I would love to hang out.
They are. Well, and if a woman is a villain, you know, she's a villain because she's strategic and strong. But like if a man does it, he's just a good player. Right. You know, to me, it kind of makes me angry. You know, that it's like, come on, they're not villains, they're just really good at the game. And people get mad about it, you know.
I mean, that was the case with Parvati, kind of. I mean, he didn't really do anybody that dirty. I mean, obviously, like Ozzy was blindsided and was really hurt by it, but like that wasn't really like a dirty move necessarily.
It was actually very smart, is what it was.
Absolutely, it was.
Mhm.
Absolutely, it was. And it's she was a villain because she was good at the game. Like, she's the best example of that, right? But anyway, it's just interesting. Love that season, but we have already talked about all of the iconic women from that season, so we are going to skip. But now is the moment that everyone has been waiting for. We are, out of all those seasons that we just talked about, we are each going to come up with two that we would put on a dream tribe. And now Ollie and I are co-hosting this whole segment, Babes and Buffs. And so Ollie and I, at the end of this thing, will have a list of 10 because there's going to be 5 episodes. Each episode, we're going to come up with 2. We cannot pick more than 2 per era, which is so hard, honestly, especially in an era like this.
This is hard.
It is hard.
Weird. Ollie and I have not wanted to pick for this era because
You guys don't have to say me just because I was in this era. Just kidding.
Oh, and the other thing I am going to say, you know what? I told this, I've been saying this, I guess, so I'm glad you actually brought that up because I actually made a rule for myself that I could not pick any guests because I feel like I would want to pick all the people that we're having as guests. And I don't want it to seem like, even though I would have you all as people on my dream tribe, like I don't want it to, at the same time, to people that are listening be like, oh, big eye roll, like she's just picking the person that she's talking to, you know what I mean? So I just want to like go outside of that a little bit. So Leslie, I would love to have you on my dream tribe, honorable mention, but I'm not allowed to pick you.
Perfect. Love it.
Yes. Well, who would like to go first?
Ollie
wants to go first.
I can go first.
I'm still trying to figure it out. So
I've got my picks. I mean, I think Tori knows. It was very obvious. I think when I got on this podcast, I think even viewers know who was going to be my first pick.
Yeah.
I've got to have Courtney Yates. I can't not have Courtney. Like, literally my favorite Survivor player of all time. Of course, I was going to put her on my dream tribe. So locking that one down. And then my second pick, I was debating between 2 people. Like, it's literally been like this the entire time. I was actually re-debating it whilst we were podcasting. I was going to pick Taj. Absolutely adore Taj. But I've got to pick Natalie Bolton. I have to pick Natalie Bolton. So, yeah, those are my 2 picks. Courtney Yates and Natalie Bolton.
So if he picked Courtney, can I pick Courtney or do I have to pick somebody else?
You can say the same people or different people. It doesn't matter.
Courtney is my girl. Like, how would I ever do this and not mention Courtney? It has to be Courtney. Courtney, bar none, hands down, no question. And then honestly, I mean, it's a toss. It's either Laura Moret or Sandra. I would love to play with Sandra.
Love that.
I think she could teach me a lot. And I'm a good student. And I think people like it when when you're like, teach me, oh sensei. I think they take that and they run with it. So I think it would be good. I think we'd be a good team.
I think so too. I can totally see that. You know what? You and Laura or you and Sandra or both.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it all. So maybe we'll do those combinations at some point. Okay, so my first one. So I was maybe gonna have like the same picks as Ollie, but then I'm like, even though we're allowed to have the same picks, like I didn't really want us to have the same ones. So I'm gonna mix it up a little and have some variety. But honorable mention to the 2 to everyone that has been mentioned for Dream Tribe. And all the women. All the women deserve an honorable mention. But I'm gonna go with Amanda Kimmel. I love her. She's a person, even though we've seen her 3 times, I don't think it's the same as other people that we've seen multiple times. I think that people still want more Amanda, and I'm definitely one of those people. And I hope she's doing well out there. But yeah, she is on mine. And then I'm glad that you said I was going to pick Taj, but I picked Natalie Bolton because I'm the opposite. I was going to say Natalie Bolton, but I went with Taj for mine.
Nice.
So Taj is on my dream tribe.
That is a bad team. I mean, good, bad, like, not bad.
Bad,
Yeah. That is a great
you know what? Put all of our women together and look at that tribe. How great would that tribe be? Oh,
honestly.
So
throw Leslie in there, and you've got the dream team right there. Like, just give them Michael Jordan's number because
you hear that, CBS? You hear that?
There's a new dream team in town.
Yes. So fun.
Oh my gosh, so good. Well, I am so happy with all those picks. I loved talking about all of those seasons. And I especially loved talking to both of you about this. Like, what a fun podcast. It's been such a great time. Leslie, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. It was super fun. I
Oh my
love
God.
it.
And what is the name of your podcast? Like, what is that going to be called?
It's called Beyond the Torch, and it's already out there. You can already subscribe to it. We're on YouTube and all the other, podcasting places, and it will be premiering on August 26th. Up until then, we're just doing a bunch of interviews and trying to get a bunch of them lined up so that, the podcast monster doesn't keep chasing me every week and I have to hurry up and quickly get it. I want to be able to take our time and give you guys a really great podcast. And there's a part in every single episode called The Fans Have Spoken. And we play voicemails or read little things that we're getting of how the show has impacted the fans' lives. We love the fans. We love hearing how the show has just changed you, given you community, given you, confidence, helping you learn how to make videos if you're trying out like I did. It's just a celebration as we approach 50 seasons of Survivor.
I love that so much. I can't wait to listen. I already follow you on Instagram. And I follow you personally and I follow the podcast personally.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really fun. I'm excited to listen. Everybody out there, listen to the what is it called again? I'm sorry.
Beyond the Torch with Todd and Leslie.
Listen to Beyond the Torch podcast and stay tuned for more Babes and Buffs because we've got some good stuff coming to you and you don't want to miss it. Everybody, thank you so much for listening today. We will see you next time on Babes and Buffs. Bye.